is Tom Brady? By James Buckley Jr., illustrated by Gregory Copeland, Penguin Workshop. For Good, JB. Contents. Who is Tom Brady? 1. Tommy 4, college star 10, from number 199 to number 116, becoming a superstar 26, coming back strong 32, a new beginning 42, timeliners 48, bibliography. 50. Who is Tom Brady? Tom Brady looked up at the clock on the stadium scoreboard. He saw that his team, the New England Patriots, had just 90 seconds left in Super Bowl XXXVI 36. He had to lead them down the field to try to win the game, which was tied 1-7. Tom called the play and clapped his hands in the huddle. "Let's go!" he yelled. Fans in the stands and watching at home cheered as Tom completed a pass to J.R. Redmond. Tom then made 4 more successful passes. The Patriots got closer and closer to the end zone. Finally, they reached the 30-yard line. Only 7 seconds remained on the clock. Tom then watched nervously from the sidelines as kicker Adam Vinatieri tried a 48-yard field goal. Adam made it. New England won 2-0-1-7. Tom and the Patriots were Super Bowl champions. He was also named the game's most valuable player, MVP. Tom had come a long way to reach that Super Bowl, the first of a record 7 that he would go on to win. He had not started playing football until 9th grade. He sat on the bench in both high school and college, waiting for his chance. Even after playing well in college, he had waited impatiently as National Football League (NFL) teams chose 6 of the quarterbacks ahead of him in the NFL draft. So when he finally got his big chance with the Patriots in 2001, he made the most of it. Since then, Tom Brady has become the best quarterback in NFL history. He has thrown more touchdown passes than any other player. Tom's 7 Super Bowl titles number more than any NFL team. He is known as the GOAT, the greatest of all time. In more than 20 seasons, he has amazed teammates and opponents, and thrilled fans. He even switched teams at the age of 43 to win his 7th Super Bowl. From the bench to the top of the sport, Tom has had the greatest career in NFL history. But how did Tom become the GOAT? Chapter 1. Tommy. Thomas Brady Jr. was born the 3rd of August 1977, in San Mateo, California. His family and friends called him Tommy. Tommy's parents, Tom Sr. and Gellin, both loved sports. His 3 older sisters were all top athletes. Maureen was a softball pitcher who won 111 games in high school and would become an All-American player in college. Julie was a college soccer player. Nancy was a high school softball star. Tom Sr. encouraged all of his children to compete. Everything we did, and I mean everything, even running home from church, everything was a competition. I guess it made things really fun, at least for the winner. At the youngest, Tommy lost a lot and he didn't like it. Once while golfing with his dad, Tommy tossed his club in anger after a bad shot. He was sent to wait in the car while his dad finished playing. Tommy started playing baseball when he was very young, taking part in t-ball and youth league games. At first, his parents prevented him from playing football because they thought it was too rough. That was okay with Tommy, for a while. "I loved baseball," he said. "The high school I went to was a good baseball school, but once I started playing football, that's when I started to love it." As much as Tommy loved football, he didn't play very often as a freshman at Junipero Serra High School. He watched from the bench as his team lost 8 of the 9 games it played, the other game ended in a tie. In his 2nd season, he became the team's quarterback because the player in that position decided to quit the team. Tommy quickly saw that he had to put in some effort to remain the starting quarterback. He began working out even after scheduled football practices. His family would see him for dinner, but then he often left to go to a gym. After not doing well in the footwork training drill called 5 dots, he drew his own 5 dots on his garage floor so he could do the drill at home and improve. He also created a jump rope workout that his high school coach later taught to other Serra students. Even as Tommy tried to outdo his athletic sisters, they were among his biggest supporters. High school friend and teammate John Kirby remembered, after every game you'd see the entire family, all his sisters, parents, and even me aunts and uncles. They really stuck together. On the field, Tommy was starting to show the personality that would eventually help him win Super Bowls. Whenever he was in the huddle, he always seemed in control, said Kirby. He never panicked. He was always motivational, not negative. Tommy threw 33 touchdown passes over his final 2 seasons in high school, and his team won 11 of 20 games. He was rated one of the top 6 quarterbacks in California. A 1994 TV interviewer said Brady was one of the names you'll be hearing about for years to come. Tommy was good enough as a catcher on the Serra baseball team that he was drafted by the Montreal Expos. But Tommy decided that football would be his best path to success. For college, he had a chance to stay near his family by going to the University of California at Berkeley. But the University of Michigan also recruited him to play. Tommy chose to make the journey to Michigan. He knew this would take him away from his close-knit family, but he wanted to prove himself at the sport top level. Chapter 2. College Star. In the fall of 1995 at the University of Michigan, the player now called Tom found himself waiting on the bench once again. There were 7 guys on the depth chart when I got there, Tom remembered. A depth chart is the listing of a team's players by position, in the order they would probably get called into games. Tom was number 4 of those 7. I remember being out there the first day at practice and thinking, man, I'm better than those guys, he said later. Of course, I wasn't, but that was always my attitude. Attitude was not enough. The Michigan Wolverines had so many quarterbacks that Tom took a redshirt season as a freshman. That meant that he could practice with the team, but could not play in games. In 1996, he became a backup to Scott Raceback and Brian Grease. The next year, Coach Lloyd Carr chose Grease over Tom as the number 1 quarterback. Tom was frustrated that he had not been selected for the starting job. He considered leaving Michigan, but he decided to stick it out. Tom told Carr, I'm not going to leave. And I'm going to prove to you I'm the best quarterback. He had a goal in mind and he was not going to be denied, said Carr. In 1998, Tom's 3rd season, he once again had to earn the starting position. Michigan had added a younger player named Drew Henson, who was considered one of the best athletes in the country. Tom worked hard and was chosen as the starter over Henson. He led Michigan to a 1-0-3 record and set a new Wolverines record with 214 completed passes. Even with all of Tom's success that season, Carr decided to split the quarterback job starting in 1999. Tom and Drew would take turns in each game. Drew would start, then Tom would play the second quarter, and so on. Tom recognized that he would have to find a way to beat 18-year-old Drew for playing time. Drew Henson was a super young player, Tom said later. Drew was faster than I was, stronger, quicker, more elusive, better arm. Tom continued to have faith in himself, even as it seemed the coach did not. Whenever you talked to Tom about the future, he always said, I'm going to be a starting quarterback in the NFL, remembered his roommate Pat Kratos. In the 6th game of the 1999 season, Drew started and Michigan fell behind by 17 points. In the second quarter, Tom came in to try to lead a comeback. He nearly did, and after the following game, Carr made Tom the full-time starter, no more taking turns. Brady really separated himself by the way he played, Carr said. Tom then led the Wolverines to 5 wins in their next 6 games. Tom's final game for Michigan was in the Orange Bowl against the University of Alabama. Michigan trailed by 14 points in the second half. Tom led his team to 2 touchdowns and the game was tied 2-8. In overtime, Tom threw another touchdown pass. When Alabama scored a touchdown but missed an extra point, the game was over, and Michigan won 3-4. The Alabama game was as fine a performance at quarterback as anybody ever had. Carr said later. The game's TV announcers called Tom the comeback kid. After 2 winning seasons as a college quarterback and earning his degree from Michigan, Tom had high hopes for the next part of his career. But to his surprise, NFL teams did not agree. Chapter 3. From number 199 to number 1. Before the NFL draft in April 2000, Tom took part in workouts to show off his skills for NFL scouts and coaches. Though Tom stood 6 feet, 4 inches and weighed more than 220 pounds, the scouts were not impressed with what they saw. As good as Tom had been at Michigan, NFL teams were not seeing the type of skills they wanted in a professional quarterback. Some of the criticisms about Tom was that he was skinny and that he got knocked down easily. Many years later, NFL draft expert Malkitpa Jr. remembered that out of 576 quarterbacks who were evaluated, Tom was number 576. Tom still had hope, however. The competitive spirit that he had learned at home and that had carried him through high school and college was still with him. During the NFL draft that year, Tom and his family gathered around the television waiting for his name to be called. Round after round went by. Quarterback after quarterback was taken. Tom's name was not called. It was hard. It was just a tough day, Tom said. I remember taking a walk with my dad and mom around the block. They were just so supportive of me. Finally, in the 6th round, out of 7 total, and with the 199th pick, the New England Patriots chose Tom. He was excited to be chosen, of course, but he was still very upset that so many teams had overlooked him. Tom quickly decided he had to get over his disappointment and work hard for the team. He was so confident in his ability that when he met the Patriots owner, Robert Kraft, he told him, "I'm the best decision this organization has ever made." Tom spent his first NFL season as the team's fourth-string quarterback. But he also spent plenty of time learning the Patriots' plays and working with the team's coaches, especially head coach Bill Belichick. By the start of his second professional season, Tom had moved up to the number 2 spot, behind starter Drew Bledsoe. On the 23rd of September 2001, in a game against the New York Jets, Bledsoe was injured when tackled by linebacker Mo Lewis. Tom strapped on his helmet and went into the game. It was the chance he had been waiting for. The Patriots lost that game, but New England won 5 of its next 7 games. Even after Bledsoe had recovered from his injury, Belichick stuck by Tom as the starter, having seen how good a leader and passer he had become. After a loss to the St. Louis Rams, the Patriots then won the final 6 games of the regular season. The backup quarterback had led the Patriots to an 1-1-5 record in the American Football Conference (AFC) East Division Championship. In the playoffs, Tom directed a late-drive-along series of plays that ended with a game-winning field goal for an overtime win over the Oakland Raiders. After New England then beat the Pittsburgh Steelers, they earned a spot in Super Bowl XXXVI 36. The Patriots faced the Rams, who had beaten them weeks earlier. St. Louis tied the game at 1-7 with just 90 seconds left. Tom rallied his team and again showed why he was the comeback kid. Using a series of short passes, he moved the team down the field. With just 7 seconds left, he watched from the sidelines as Adam Vinatieri kicked a field goal that gave the Patriots a 2-0-1-7 win. It was the team's first Super Bowl win ever, thanks to the play that NFL teams overlooked until the 6th round of the draft. Bill Belichick. 1952. Bill Belichick was born in Tennessee, but grew up in Annapolis, Maryland, where his father was a coach for the U.S. Naval Academy. Belichick often helped his father and learned a lot about coaching. After college, he took a job as an assistant coach with the Baltimore Colts. In 1979, he joined the coaching staff of the New York Giants. Under head coach Bill Parcells, that team won 2 Super Bowls, with Belichick directing the team's defense. In 2000, Belichick was named the head coach of the New England Patriots. Over the next 20 years, he worked hard to help turn the team into one of the most dominant in football history. From 2001 through 2019, his team had a winning record each year. They won at least 11 games in 16 different seasons. Belichick's total of 6 Super Bowl championships is the most by a coach in NFL history. His 280 regular season victories through 2020 are third all-time, making him one of the most successful coaches in NFL history. Chapter 4. Becoming a superstar. Tom and the Patriots continue to be contenders in the NFL. In 2003, they won 14 games. In Super Bowl XXXVI 38, Tom once again led the team to the championship on a game-winning field goal. He also won his second Super Bowl Most Valuable Player award. The following season, the New England Patriots won another 14 games and the AFC Championship. In Super Bowl XXXIX 39, they defeated the Philadelphia Eagles. Tom and the Patriots were only the second team in NFL history to have won 3 Super Bowls in 4 seasons. During this run of success, Tom rarely led the league in any statistics. He still did not have the strongest arm among quarterbacks. He was still slower than most as well. However, he was simply better at the most important job for a quarterback, leading his team to victory. Tom seemed to be able to always call the right play or complete the key pass that led to a score. He rarely threw interceptions, passes caught by the defense. And he inspired his teammates to do their best. In Tom's case, his rating isn't stats but wins, said Brady. Those closest to Tom saw him continuing to grow as a person. About watching his son become a sports superstar, Tom Sr. said, "I see him being a lot happier and a more contented person." But his father knew that suddenly becoming a celebrity was not easy for Tom. Tom soon had a family as well as a team. In late 2006, Tom had broken up with his girlfriend, Bridget Moynihan. Then, he met Brazilian model Gisele Bündchen on a blind date. "I knew right away the first time I saw him," Gisele said. She thought he had the most beautiful smile she had ever seen. Early in 2007, Bridget told Tom she was pregnant with his child. Their son Jack was born in August of that year. In 2007, Tom had his best season yet as the Patriots made it back to the Super Bowl. He set an NFL single-season record with 50 touchdown passes. He led the league with 4,806 yards, the most ever in his career. He was also the most accurate passer, completing almost 70% of his passes. The Patriots did not lose a game in the regular season, winning all 16 games. While the Miami Dolphins had been undefeated in the 1972 season to the point the only team since the NFL started holding an annual championship game to accomplish the feat, the season had been only 14 games long then. In Super Bowl XLI 42, the Patriots had a chance to be the first undefeated Super Bowl winner since that Dolphins team. However, they were defeated by the New York Giants 1-7-1-4 in a huge upset. The following season, Tom faced a new challenge. In the first quarter of the first game, he was tackled and suffered a knee injury. He underwent surgery to fix the damage, and he had to miss the entire 2008 season. The comeback kid had a new kind of comeback to make. Chapter 5. Coming back strong. Tom had to work hard in the 2008 off-season to help his knee heal. He wanted to be ready for the 2009 season. Working hard was nothing new for him. From his high school days of evening workouts to his steady work as a pro, Tom knew that he had to keep his body ready for the rough action of the NFL. Patriots teammate Rodney Harrison once tried to beat Tom in arriving first to the team's weight room. He got there at 6:30 in the morning. Tom was already there, and teased Harrison by saying, "Good afternoon." The next day, Harrison came in at 5:45. Tom had showed up first. Finally, Harrison arrived at 5:30. And Tom was already hard at work. Harrison told him, "I'm not coming in earlier than 5:30. They both laughed. While he was training and not playing, Tom made time to plan a wedding with Gisele. They were married first in February 2009 in Santa Monica, California. Then the couple had a second ceremony that summer in Costa Rica, where Gisele had a home. Tom's recovery from his knee injury was a success, and he returned to the field for the 2009 season. Later that year, he and Gisele had a son named Ben. 3 years later, they welcomed daughter Vivian. After losing in the playoffs in 2009 and 2010, Tom and the Patriots were back in Super Bowl XLVI 46 for the 2011 season. Once again, they were favored to win, but once again the Giants pulled off an upset, beating the Patriots 2-1-7. Tom and the Patriots had gone 9 seasons without a championship. That streak ended in 2014 and kicked off another series of great seasons. After beating the Indianapolis Colts in the AFC Championship game, they faced the Seattle Seahawks in Super Bowl XLIX 49. New England trailed by 10 points entering the final quarter. Tom threw 2 touchdown passes to take the lead to 8-4. The Patriots made a late interception to seal the win. Not long after that game, Tom and the Patriots were accused of taking some air out of the footballs in the win over the Colts. Having slightly less air in a football can make it easier to grip and pass. But removing air from the balls is against NFL rules. Tom denied breaking any rules. The investigation took more than a year. When it was over, Tom was suspended for the first 4 games of the 2016 season. NFL footballs. Official NFL balls are made from 4 panels of leather sewn together. A rubber bag inside the leather is filled with air. The pressure of the air is set by NFL rules at 12.5 to 13.5 pounds per square inch. Before each game, NFL officials inspect 24 balls from each team for use. During the game, staff on the sideline swap new balls in and out between plays. At halftime in random games, some of the footballs are measured again to make sure they are still inflated correctly. This rule was added after the Patriots were found to have taken some air out of the game balls in the 2014 Super Bowl. When Tom returned to the 2016 season, it was business as usual. In Super Bowl LI-51, he set a new record for comebacks. The Patriots trailed the Atlanta Falcons 2-8-3 in the second half. No team had ever come back to win a Super Bowl game from that many points behind. Tom believed he and his team could be the first. He shouted at his teammates on the sidelines. Video cameras caught him yelling that they had to play tougher and harder and to give it everything they had. Tom threw 2 touchdown passes and the Patriots added a field goal to make the score 28-0. He led the team to another touchdown. Then, with a quick pass to Danny Amendola, Tom earned the team the 2 points it needed to tie the game at 28-8. That forced the first overtime game in Super Bowl history. New England got the ball first, and Tom drove his team down the field. At the end of the drive, James White ran into the end zone from 2 yards. The Patriots had completed the comeback, and Tom had won his 5th Super Bowl and his 4th Super Bowl MVP trophy. He was even happier when he greeted his mother, Gellin, on the field. She had been sick with cancer and Tom cried as he held her on the field amid the confetti. Tom's 6th Super Bowl win came 2 seasons later over the Los Angeles Rams. That gave him more Super Bowl titles than any other player. All 19 seasons with the Patriots with Tom as starting quarterback had been winning seasons. He was elected to 14 Pro Bowls, the NFL's All-Star game. He was selected as part of the NFL All-Decade teams for the 2000s and the 2010s. But he was not done yet. Chapter 6. A New Beginning. After one more season with the New England Patriots in 2019, Tom decided that it was time to move on. He was looking for a new challenge. When the team did not sign Tom to a new contract, he joined the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Each year on the anniversary of his originally being drafted number 199, Tom sends out a note to fans, reminding them at the event. He often lists some of the comments that scouts had written about him back then. He again points out how wrong those scouts had been. At age 43 in 2020, Tom was the oldest player in the league. Football to me is more than just a sport. It has become my life. Every choice that I make is about football, what I have for breakfast, how I work out, all of those things. I love the game. I love playing. The Buccaneers welcomed Tom's skills and his attitude. If you come here, we'll win the Super Bowl, Tampa Bay coach Bruce Arians told Tom. You're the missing ingredient. We're a very talented team, but they just don't know it. However, Tom and the Buccaneers lost 5 of their first 12 games. The playoffs seemed impossible. But after the team took a week off, Tom's leadership began to show. The offensive began to pile up points. The defense got better, too. Tampa Bay won its last 4 games of the season. They did make the playoffs after all. For his part, Tom threw 40 touchdown passes, his most since his record-setting 2007 season. In the playoffs, Tampa Bay beat Washington, New Orleans, and Green Bay. They earned a spot in Super Bowl LV-55 against the Kansas City Chiefs, who were the defending NFL champions. Tom threw 2 first-half touchdowns. He added a 3rd scoring pass in the second half. The Tampa Bay defense shut down the Chiefs' great quarterback, Patrick Mahomes. With a 3-1-9 victory, Tom earned his 7th Super Bowl championship. He also became the first player ever with 5 Super Bowl MVP trophies. Giselle, Jack, Ben, and Vivian joined Tom on the field after the game for the celebration. Tom Sr. and Gellin, now recovered from cancer, watched from the stands. After the game, running back Leonard Fournette spoke for all of Tom's teammates through the years. I'm just blessed to be next to this man. He's the GOAT, the greatest football player to ever play.